Well, hello everyone. It's week 10 of college football. Exciting things are still happening. Great weekend of football. And we have another coaching firing. Well, I don't know why everybody's so shocked. That seems to be the norm today. I thought I would come on here today and Monday morning quarterback, just like everybody else is, and everybody will continue to do this week. But my difference is I come as a fan of college football. I come as a husband and a father of two athletes. One played Division I baseball. The other would have played Division I softball if she wasn't injured. And so I know a little bit of something about sports and raising two wonderful children in sports and what sports has taught them over the years, which I hope has helped them in their life experiences today. I also come to you as a 4-year Division I college athlete at the University of Maryland on the golf team. I've been through the recruiting process. I've also been through the possibility of transferring process. So I do know a little bit about what goes on because I've had firsthand experience in both of those areas: recruitment, college sports, and the transfer deal, which is totally different than it is today for sure. So let me start off with coaching. I've been a coach of youth sports for probably over 10, 12 years. Enjoyed it immensely. It's one of the most fun things I've ever done in my life. And I got into it hesitantly, but having two children that were athletes and interest in sports, I decided to do so. But the other reason I got into it was to help young people develop skills, develop their attitude, develop their motivation, and so on and so on. And that's the crux of coaching, is developing young people to help them with down the road with life experiences. Not everybody's going to play in high school. Not everybody's going to go to college and play in a sport. And not everybody's going to go to the pros. It's a very, very small percentage. So what you try to do as a coach, in my opinion, is you give young people something in coaching that helps them with their life experiences down the road. Sports is a challenge. Sports is a real challenge to be as good as you can be. So it's hard, no doubt about it. But as a coach, you try to pull everything out of that young person that they possibly have. And there are many different levels. Some are going to be a whole lot better than others, as we know. But the goal is, whatever child you're dealing with, is to try to pull everything out of them as possible as you can to help them down the road. And they're going to make mistakes. They're going to get upset. They're going to throw bats, clubs, whatever. But your job as a coach is to teach them the next move forward. I always told my players, it's not the mistake you made, it's how you reacted after the mistake you made. That's what was more important to me as a coach. And it was my job as a coach to make them better so they wouldn't make that mistake again. And if they reacted poorly, it was my job to make sure they don't react poorly again. So again, that was my main reason for getting into coaching, other than having two athletes as children. So for those 10, 12 years, my goal was developing kids and get as much out of them as I could, and challenge them and make them work hard. But I was also, when they made a mistake, I put my arms around them, explain it, and move on. We're going to get better at this, and my job is to help that young person get better at whatever activity that they were participating in. So that was the reason I got into coaching. I don't know if that's any different today, because that's what was projected on me back with. That's some great coaches coming up. That was projected on me as an individual of why you get into coaching. So I don't think the coaches today are any different. I think that deep down, in majority of them, that's what they believe. But once you start putting this money in place for these people, these coaches, or anybody, I don't care if it's the corporate world, you're going to run into some issues. And I see the issues happening. I see them coming. And I'm afraid they're going to affect college football down the road. So there's plenty of blame to go around. The coaches get all of it, pretty much. But, you know, the athletic directors, the universities, and these agents that are out there, specifically one, I will not mention the name, are tremendously detrimental to what's going on right now. So the coaches get the blame. They don't win enough games. They get these buyouts. You know, in reality, I can't blame the coaches for taking the money. If these people are dumb enough to pay that amount of money to coaches, then they need to suffer the consequences. Isn't that what life is all about? When you need to suffer some consequences and learn from your mistakes and not do them again. But they seem to keep doing them over and over again. So there's plenty of blame, but the coaches taking the money, yeah, they deserve some of it. I don't disagree with that. But the blame needs to go even higher than that. And I just, you know, I have to back the coaches here somewhat. But the blame needs to go higher than that. More people involved that made these mistakes financially, mainly, with these buyouts and these coaching salaries that need to be held accountable. And I mean need to be held accountable. So let's look into that part of it. We know the coaching record. We know all that stuff. Let's go behind the scenes a little bit and see what the others are doing that have created this mess that we're in. The other thing I want to talk about is if Lane Kiffin is listening, as a fan, I'm not an Ole Miss fan. I'm not really an individual team fan. I like Georgia, I like Maryland, I like watching college football. So I have no bias here. But in the Lane Kiffin situation, I see where he got extended at Ole Miss. Everybody's coming after him. Every show's got it on there. Every channel you can put on has it on there. But I think it's a time for someone to step up. And I think Lane Kiffin is the one to make these changes, this accountability change to help coaches in the future. So I would recommend, this is just my opinion as a college football fan and a former youth coach, and been coached by some wonderful coaches over the years and been involved with coaching, that I think it's wise of Lane to stay at Ole Miss, because I see a big difference in Lane Kiffin personally. I've followed him. I follow people. I follow players. I follow coaches. Analyze it. Look at it. Lane Kiffin has come a long way. Lane Kiffin has made some mistakes. Hell, no different than what we do. And we get second chances and third chances and whatnot. I hope we learn from the mistakes and not do them again. But Lane has been on a journey. He's had ups and downs personally. He's had ups and downs in the coaching profession. But I think Lane is content where he is. And I don't think you can put a dollar amount on contentment. Happy, yes. But contentment is another animal. So I hope Lane will stay at Ole Miss. He'll set a precedent. And we'll say this as a fan, Lane, and somebody's been following you, that the respect that you will get from the fans will be undescribable and will be more overwhelming than the success that you've had as a coach coaching and winning and making the money. Think about it. Think about it hard. Because I think the fans are starving for somebody to step up to the plate and make a decision of staying where they need to stay because they're content and their life is good. Chasing the money doesn't bring contentment. It really doesn't bring happiness. So I hope he stays. Ole Miss will be better for it. And Lane Kiffin is the one that can make this change. Folks, I'll have my picks on Thursday, be posted on Thursday through week 7 through week 9. We're 18-6-2 against the spread bets. Last week there were several parlays played that we won 2 out of the 3 parlays. So things are looking up. And check back with me on my channel on Thursday for the week 10 picks. And I hope you have a great day. I appreciate you listening. And if you would please hit the like button or the subscribe button. I guess that's what YouTubers do. Again, no fancy studio, just a fan and a retired man that loves college football and loves sports and knows what it can teach the youth of America. And we certainly need it right now. So all the best to you, and God bless America.